Welcome back. Welcome back to Genius Days. Today is all about creating your third eye reality, going from inner vision to outer reality. So, we know about a lot of esoteric wisdom when it comes down to the third eye. We're going to teach you a lot of different techniques that you can use, as well as manifestation tools that you guys can use to actually create the vision that you want, right? Because a lot of the times we don't get the opportunity to create that vision a lot because the world reminds us otherwise. So we're going to teach you some ways in which you can actually maintain that. Quick disclaimer, 18 and above, don't harm anybody, kind of the basic stuff, don't steal this information unless you're teaching someone of it. And yeah, let's kick it off. What do you guys got on this topic?
So what I'm going to be doing is a attention meditation. So we can all do this together. It's an exercise. And it's really, really simple. You see, when we're talking about our third eye, that which we use to see, right? And we must become used to seeing. We have to train the muscle of seeing and our ability to control and guide the muscle into creating, start manifesting small and then make it big and then go big. Don't go straight big. Don't, like when you first practicing. So this is going to be very, very simple. All we're going to do is we're going to create a ball, right? So you hold your hands just right in front of each other. And focus your attention not on me, but in the ball inside your hands. Now give it a color. Feel the energy expanding and contracting in between your hands as you visualize and create a ball with your energy directed as a thought. From an image that you see. And when you breathe in, expand your arms just a little bit wide. And when you breathe out, bring them just a little bit in. Pull the image from your mind and bring it down into the body to really see. You'll notice you are really seeing when you're no longer using your willpower to see, rather you just see. Now bring your hands together, your palms, and give yourself gratitude for being here. It's different time zones of everywhere we are. For some of us, it's extra early. For some of us, it's midday. Others closer to the end. Give yourself gratitude. And we just wipe our hands and close. If you practice this exercise, like every single day for 10 minutes a day, oh my God, dude, it was the exercise that I used to literally open up my third eye. Like I had that moment where I'm just laying on the floor and an electric, literally it feels like a straight electrical current shoots up your spine, right? But see, it doesn't just go straight up. It goes like this. It starts from here. The neck, the head, around the head, to the top of the head, and then it goes right here. Like that. And so the intention when you do things should not be for that, because if you aim for that, you're gonna miss it. It's like, it's one of those weird things where like, if you aim for enlightenment, you don't get enlightenment. So that's what I gotta say for right now. I got a lot to say, but I'm really happy that we got to share that exercise.
Man, that was dope though. But now I have to regather my thoughts on what I wanted to say. Oh man. All right, let me ask questions to Alexandra. Why is this ball exercise, this energy ball exercise, important for manifestation? Is this better or is this more stable?
Because this is what people say, oh, I gotta set goals. You already have goals.
Yeah.
Right? There's literally like with or without going down and writing our intention in paper, every single person in the world has a goal, right?
Of course.
Which is basically just they're seeking to meet their needs, right?
Right.
And so we look at Maslow's hierarchy of needs. You go up and it gets more complex. Go from super basic shit to like breathing and fucking, you know what I mean? That's basic shit. Which, by the way, if you can't figure out how to fuck a girl, you're still being focused on the most basic need that a human has. On top of that, we got food. Food is more important. It's less important than air, but it's an important need. Then we can focus on this. We can focus on shelter and building a house now. You know, I have all my shit first, right? That we went nomads. We went from nomads. We went to fucking, farmers. And then we got shit like emotions and self-esteem. You know, like it's more important to have self-esteem, right? Then we got friendship. So for that, now it's more important for you to have more love in your life and creativity. All right. Well, when you do this one, this is a transcendental moment, because you transcend this physicalness and you step out and you're like, I control the physicalness, because that's literally what you're doing. What you're doing is you're creating an electromagnetic field ball in your hand. That's why you can feel it. It's literally electromagnetic. Your body is electric, aka alkaline, and your thoughts are magnetic, right? So it's your body and your mind creating this effect together. So we practice through the visualization. That's what we're training here. As much as we're training it here, you're really just creating it here. At first, you have to see it, and you practice it. It cleans out your third eye, right? And you. So going back to goals, saying all that, going back to goals. You got to be able to see it super fucking clearly. That's the only way that you know, boom, all the way there, right? All the way there. But that's why you also got to reverse engineer it. Start from the ending and then just work your way back, because that's so much more easier. Just start at the end of the maze and then work yourself way out. You know where the beginning is. You know where you are. You know where this is. Just go to this. And try to go, right? Because we've chosen how far we're going to go, right? But if you start here, it's harder. It's just harder. Why is it harder? Because you don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. And right here, you're just not that strong, right? You can only attract into your life that which you are bigger than. You can't attract things into your life that are in terms of manifestation, right? Because you're the positive sign, right? And so how do magnets work? You got a positive side and you put a negative side, boom, you go together. You're the positive. You're positively charged. Your thoughts are positively charged. Your body's charged. Your emotions are charged. From that point is what you set your manifestation with. From your emotions, your thoughts, your body, your clarity. And then, boom, it comes to you. Unless you also secretly have a negative about that thing that you want, and it's going to create a like what's kind of trying to come to you, but it's also going to be blocked by you, right? And we call those roadblocks, limiting beliefs, shadow work, whatever you want to call it, the unseen. That's what that really is. So actually, just real quick, I want to mention this, and then I want to pass it on to Sumed. We got a badass fucking event called Writing Reality. We go deeper into this, right? If you're interested, young hero, if you like what you're listening to, hit us up after that. But anyway, just so you know, Sumed.
Yeah. Man, I really like what you're saying, because this is like that process of not thinking about your goals that so many people are doing, but thinking from the perspective of it already been accomplished, right? So it's like you're not acting as if, you're acting as is. And I think that's a really important like change and switch that we can make. Is, a lot of us, we think that reality that we want is outside of us, but really it's inside of us, right? We are the projectors in a sense. So all the stuff that you want to see in your external world, you have to do that internal work first in order to see it out into the physical. Because I notice this sometimes, I'll walk into maybe a venue or something like that, and the venue's just being mean to me or something, it's like it just doesn't click. It's like I have a bad opinion of everybody there or something like that. But once I change my perception, which is what the third eye helps you do, actually, it helps you change your perception, use your imagination, use your future paced, like clairvoyant abilities. And so once I'm like, hey man, everybody's my friend in this venue. I'm the owner of this club or something like this. Then it just changes that mentality, and it just changes how they respond to me, right? So the third eye is not some kind of like secret remote control where you can go into your future, though it can be. But it is basically a way of like plugging you into your deepest, most core desires and your visions, right? And so I want to focus briefly on the palm method. I just had my event yesterday. Imagination births creation. Facts. So I and Ivan have an event coming up. It's called Writing Reality, where we're going to actually get you to create and unlock any version of you. And that's going to help you step in to fully embody that character. Because what are we doing when we're going from, so liberation is from root to crown, right? Crown to root is manifestation, right? So a lot of the times we don't embody that, the things that we want, right? But what Ivan showed us with this activity is we could actually feel the energy, and we were creating the energy. So it gave us permission to be creators again, right? It gave us permission not only to be creators of this world, but also the metaphysical world. And so the PALM method is just, if you remember this acronym, I just wrote it down. So P. So also I like to do this, like, let's say you have a goal right here or end result right here. Let's say you want a really nice body or something, right? So you can find around your palm, the fingers, you can add like, okay, going to the gym every day, maybe eating healthy, maybe joining some kind of boxing gym, maybe, I don't know, doing some sit-ups with your friend every Thursday, whatever it is. So these are like the little um, properties that enhance this middle part, right? So the palm method is basically P, which is physical sensation, okay? Physical sensation, it means to focus on your sensations. And through the end of the exercise, I love that ending with the gratitude, because a lot of us, we virtue signal gratitude, but we don't actually feel it or like relate it to our senses, for the fact that, I'm grateful for what I'm looking at, or this awesome song that I heard, or I'm grateful for, these brownies that I smell, really close to me as I walk past this restaurant, something like this, right? Where we're actually being grateful for our senses. So physical sensation, you've seen this like Neville Goddard talk, feeling is the secret. Everybody talks about this, but it's really the physical sensations that get you to manifest, right? Because if you don't feel it, you can't really step into it. That makes sense. The second one is attention or focused intent. So you can't have doubt in your mind. Of course, there is doubt that trickles in, but doubt is one of the killers that oftentimes gets us to skew us on a different path or different tangent in a sense. So you want to have attention, and attention goes where energy flows. We've heard that 1,000 times, but are you actually practicing that, right? Are you holding that vision in your mind and intently and just not letting it go? Right? There's a scene with Mr. Miyagi. He's like cutting that tree, that bonsai tree, right? And he's like, I have the image in my mind before, I cut the tree.
You mind if I say something?
Go ahead.
This is something I learned. That resistance is just one form of intense focus. What do you think about that, yeah?
Yeah, that's powerful.
Yeah, it makes sense, because it's like making homework almost. Yeah, you can't be focusing on your English homework and your math homework and your science homework and whatever homework, and then still do your push-ups all at the same time. And it's funny how we usually operate in that sense. And if you look at, let's say, driving a car, we need to be focused on driving a car. If you want to manifest going from one place to the next, we need to be focused on getting from, let's say, Los Angeles to Mexico. I don't know how long that would take, but I need to focus on that, and whatever sub steps that come in between will come in between, and whatever obstacles come in between. It seems the universe giving me the challenge to grow. Alejandro, I'm seeing you have some thoughts on that.
Bro, I have thoughts on everything.
Well, fair point. My bad.
All right, so I'll just finish up the acronym. So the first one was physical sensation, attention. The third one is language, right? Actually, before we get into language, what you said, Ivan, about resistance, what was it? Resistance is, or
Resistance is a form of intense focus.
yes, exactly. So the way I think about it is like we go through this life wanting to feel blissful, wanting to experience this thing called enlightenment, whatever that is. Like we kind of have some idea of what that is, but we're not really sure. And that is an expanding of pleasure, right? So if you think about it like, okay, I can enjoy this water and I can also enjoy this tea. It's not like I'm giving one preference over the other. They're both good in their own way, right? But when you get really one track minded, or you get really attached to the outcome of your manifestation, you're actually saying that I'm afraid to lose this thing. So let's say that you have an addiction to, I don't know, like shopping or something. You're only getting your pleasure by zooming and narrowing focus on the shopping. You're not enjoying the walk to the mall. You're not enjoying the birds singing in the sky. You're not enjoying the little things. You're just enjoying shopping. So it's like you're having horse blinders to this one thing, whereas you can be freaking embracing all of it. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, that's what I understand from what you said. Uh, because we're just trying to feel that bliss. And then language,
Okay, good. No,
yeah,
finish the acronym. Just finish the acronym.
the acronym, yeah. So L is language, how you speak to yourself and others. M is meaning, how are you choosing to add meaning to that event and what happens. But yeah, that's it.
Oh, nice. Meaning. I love that shit. So reality surfing. So we're going to talk about reality surfing, right? If you've ever been on a huge highway where there's all the other highways, right? There's different ones. And then if you think about all the highways that exist in the US, or all the highways that exist in Canada, all the highways that exist in India, all the highways that exist in the Netherlands, all the highways of London, all the highways of Egypt, all the highways of every single small country, all of them, and even more, to infinity. That is how many realities there are of just this moment, and they're all existing, not touching each other. And so we can go to whichever reality we want to hop into, right? Don't put the blinders on what you can see or experience in life. Be like what you truly want. You don't always say what you want wants you. Well, it's fucking true. It's fucking true. It's looking for you. But there are so many things that we think that will finally be happy when we have. It's not the thing that makes you happy. It's how you feel and what you think about and how you think about the thing itself that makes you happy. It makes you happy based on how you think it is. So all the thought ever is, if you're feeling bad about something, know that it's literally just you causing the whole experience to be seen in a negative way, because all you had to do is see something as positive and it becomes positive. And if you see something as negative, it just becomes negative. That's it. That's it. If you just, everything only is the way that you see it. It only is the way that you see it. And it doesn't exist until you see it. How do you know this? Because it just makes sense. You know, you didn't know what Johnny Bravo was until you saw Johnny Bravo. He wasn't real until you saw him first. Okay, now this it's real now. So the same thing applies to everything else. And this is why we focus on clarity, because it's not real until you see it. It's not possible until you see it. Until you got your numbers down. Until you got your calculations down. You see, this is what I noticed. A confession. This is one of my confessions. I had to spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on coaches just to find out that only I could give myself the real answers. Only I had the answers for myself. Everybody else was just giving me their answers for themselves. And so I needed to have a process for myself that could help me find myself, not tell me what I am or who I am, but a process that I could find, then I could prove to myself, and I can measure myself. I can measure my changes. And then you measure the changes based on the way that you see the thought. It's a change. It's literally a distance. It's literally a different perspective. Like you move up onto a mountain, you literally see it bigger, clearer, wider. Like if you're standing hundreds of feet above everything. And even creating that visualization of standing above the world, standing above your thoughts, standing above your body. If you just create the thought, you get there. Imagination births creation. Everything you see in the physical world once existed in the mind first. And it had to be seen. Now, did these people create that reality? No. The reality existed with or without them. Remember, the infinite highways that we can take. And the road is the destination. The road that we take is the destination. The road is the destination. The road is the destination. The destination. The road you take is your destiny. And if you just get into alignment, all you have to do is get into alignment with it. And you will be in that reality. If you live that reality from your heart and you completely let go of the old one, and every time some bullshit tries to come and tell you otherwise, to try to bring you into the old reality, you find the answer as to why that old reality is just wrong. And the new reality is the one you need to be in. You find it. You find the answer because you're acting from it. act from the energy. Act from the energy. I'm gonna say it again. Act from the energy. Means the energy is independent. It exists with or without you. It exists with or without you. It doesn't need you to exist. And all you have to do is be alignment with what it is you want, and the whole world will shift around you. See, reality creation is more about us being into alignment, because we technically don't create anything. But the truth is, yes, of course, like, you do create things, like, if you did this, if you're a creative and you edit a video or you write a book, technically you did create it, right? But all that knowledge and all that wisdom already existed in the infiniteness of wisdoms. And you're just a reflection of divine beingness expressing itself and looking to be surprised. Because when we go through all pain, when we go through all this shame, when we go through this hell, it's a surprise. And damn, we love surprises, don't we? It's true. It's true. It's true. Because if we were so certain about everything, there's no surprise. I don't know. It's just I know where everything's coming. But a surprise is something that happens when you don't know it was coming and it happened. Could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. But that feeling, the feeling of surprise, it makes you feel alive. It makes you feel alive like nothing else. Like you just finding $5 or $10 on the ground, you're like, oh shit, fuck yeah. It's just fucking $10, bro. But in that moment, it feels amazing. Because you having to adapt very fast. It makes you react very fast. There's an inner shock, and the shock is electrical. And that's what it feels like to be surprised. It feels like a mini thunderstorm. And I think we can all agree that, lightning storm. I think we can all agree that lightning is pretty beautiful. So there you go. Your life is beautiful. Your problems are beautiful.
Because it's like, it looks like dendrites, like in our brains, like lightning, you know what I mean? So we're having these sparks of insight on the inside as well. And it's showing up in the outside world, right? So, fuck, this is a very powerful topic, man. Like, being able to go have that mind-heart coherence or use your mind as the remote control where you can choose these infinite superhighways is such a powerful imagery, because you can actually take a detour and like turn left and like, you have all these roads, but we can only see what is right in front of us, right? We can't see the other highways. And so it's like being able to like know and trust that there are other highways out there can oftentimes get us moving again. Like how Viktor Frankl was like stuck in, his time, and he was like, oh man, my feet are aching, whatever, I can't walk. But then he imagined himself giving a speech of how he survived that camp, and that got him through actually. So the secret to this mind-heart coherence is really easy, and it sounds like a bumper sticker or like some kind of yoga pamphlet, but it's true, man. It's true. It's just focus, breathing, and then feeling. You focus on your heart.
Notes. Ryan, what was it you're showing? Oh, we can't see, bro, because it blocks it out because of the the background.
Oh, Michael Singer, right? Untethered. No.
Um,
Oh, I thought it was Michael Singer. Oh, Man's Search for Meaning. Oh, okay, you got the book. Oh, I see.
oh,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
should have
Facts.
pulled up Command Respect instead,
Or TPM.
or TPM. Damn.
Uh, all right. Oh, nice. Command Respect. So, hmm,
I mean, dude, I feel like almost like just the highest words. I feel like I just spoken like some of the highest truth that I've ever spoken. Like
you were
is
channeling something for sure, man. You were like
Yeah,
got
you
out
said
of
some real ass shit, bro.
I know,
I
right?
love
I
this.
know, right?
I love this topic too. I really do. The transurfing and the parallel realities. But Sumed, do you
yeah.
wanna just? I know we're on this topic, but it's just on the fresh in my mind. Maybe like 30 seconds. Explain what TPM is.
All right, sure. TPM is a method that I created when I was in college, and I wanted to myself essentially. And could you guys mute yourselves? I'm hearing an echo. Yeah. So it was a method that I created in college because I wanted to reinvent myself, right? I didn't want to be that guy that was looked at as in high school. I wanted to play a new character. So it was my experimental art piece in the sense where I would just go into college and I'd be like, I could play anybody. I could play a new role. I could be whoever I wanted to, right? And at first year, I kind of went into a kind of a deep depression at that time. And then I used these techniques to reinvent my character, right? So that's what actually got me out is like by sitting with myself and like understanding that, okay, this is the character that I want to play. You know, this is these are the things that I have to do. And I looked at life like a movie. So I studied a lot of sociology and stuff like this, and I tried to find a link between psychology as well as drama or the theater arts and how we can combine those two together. So I was looking for the question of fake it till you make it, but I learned it was more like act it till you fact it. And so TPM is my book. It's called Theatrical Plasticity Method. It's all about using dramatic strategies to change your behavior, to be a completely different person and to change who you are and your personality. And you do this through looking at the world like you're looking at a movie, basically. Yeah. Facts. Man, so I want to briefly mention a technique that I use. It's so much fun. You basically what you do is you do this heart coherence, right? So you have your hands over your heart and you're just breathing, you're feeling into your heart. And then whatever images come up. So it's nice to do it with a song. Okay. So if you have a song playing, like one of your favorite songs, you imagine the music video of that song, and you are the main like the character in the music video. Right. And so you visualize like, I don't know, all these different things, right? Dancing girls, I don't know what you want to imagine, like tigers, I don't know, different planets, you know, really, you just let your mind do its thing and create the most epic imagery ever, right? From going from the start of the music video to the end, and you are the main character, and you're just seeing what goes on in that, right? And it's just such a powerful shift in a manifestation technique that I've found is by tapping into your heart, actually, your feelings come out, right? And your feelings are actually being associated with the images that you're creating in your mind when you're doing this. So, yeah, man, like sometimes I'll do it blindfolded too and just play music and kind of hopefully you don't bump into anything, right? Have a clear space. But also just like, you know, you're walking around this environment like VR shit with just blindfold and just playing music super loud and you're just imagining you moving through this like dimension. So that's one of the techniques that I use, like the the music video visualization, I call it. Yeah. Helpful for tapping into flow too.
Bro, one thing you also said when we had our call, I think last year or something, you know, I'm down for the music stuff. So you said now you got to view the world see through the lens of you being that person. And whenever I remember that, that kind of snaps me out of whatever I'm in. And that brings it back to like the reality transurfing. If you just put yourself in the
I think we lost you. You froze. I think you froze, brother. All right, let me explain a little bit about that, what I said. So basically, like if you're a painter, right? You're seeing
is
the
like where
world.
the real change happens.
Sorry, brother, we lost you for a second because you froze. So I was just talking.
I was saying, talking about these topics and like applying them is where the real change happens, I believe. Because a lot of people say law of attraction, and that's like the beginning, the secret. But a lot of stuff is in the subconscious. So like reprogramming your mind and like shifting realities through your actions and thoughts and stuff every day is where I think it happens. Not just you change your thoughts one day or you write some shit down and now you're a different person.
Yeah, bro. What you should do is you should make yourself a mind movie, right? As Sumek makes these, but a mind movie is basically you create a visualization with images and videos and sound, and you insert yourself into it, and like you play it, and it just you watch it like when your mind is open, kind of like right before you go to sleep and right when you wake up, when your subconscious is more chilled out and it's got its walls down, and you
Ryan,
just like listen to it.
Ryan, do you have your mind movie? Could you show us what it looks like? Or no, you don't have it on your phone?
Should have told me before. I would have set that shit up already. I'll have to find it. Give me a second.
Or you can share your screen, right? Okay, cool. Yeah, so what I was saying about you're seeing the world through like a musician's lens, right? Now, everything is from your frame of mastery, right? So it's like you're not like trying to get there now because you're already in that art form. So if you're a painter, you're seeing the world as paintings. And everywhere you're going, you might be sketching or you might be seeing this little, oh, the paint over there is so freaking transcendental, right? And so now everything is coming from your space of, I have this unconscious competence, right? I've gained this skill set now and I can just freaking, go there. All right, Ryan, you found it?
Yeah, I found it. Alejandro, my good friend.
Yeah,
I
know. I was about to do that shit.
Technology, which is funny because I work in IT.
What do I do here? Let me see. Stop, pen. Bro, I'm gonna just make your ass host, bro. The fastest shit.
I am the host now. Double checking. Yeah. Okay, hopefully this works. Screen. Yep. All right, can you see my screen? Awesome. Can you hear anything?
No, bro. I think you have to share the.
What am I forgetting?
You have to share the sound.
Share
I
sound.
think.
Got it.
Yeah.
Can you hear? All right.
Wicked, yo, but wow, they're on a mission, undercover mission, this special out. Yeah, man, yeah, you star. Alright, so yeah. So what a boom shot this, what a hit and not a miss. A man want this, he will catch up in me fish. That's making a grass, who a is when them crisp. When a sexy girl lift me a good kiss. Boom shot this, what a hit and not a miss. A man want this, he will catch up in me fish. That's making a grass, who a is when them crisp. When a sexy girl lift me a good kiss. At the part, so from somewhere me come and we know we no camouflage. They don't call me Colonel Copper or Sarge. We them on a mission with the verbal barrage. No matter if a small, no matter if a large. From when me come one, say sabotage. Say them on a mission with we camouflage. Say don't call we Colonel Copper or Sarge. Me them on a mission with me verbal barrage. La 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 sabotage. Yeah, do it. La 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 sabotage. See what we say. Come on. La 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 sabotage. Fuck. Go stop. La 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 sabotage. Murder. Say what a boom shot, this it is a hit and not a miss. If a man want this, he will catch up in me fist. Say a snake me a is when the gal them crisp. Fun a sexy gal let me a plank kiss. What a boom shot this, it is not a miss. Man want this, catch up in me fist. Snake in the grass, you know me I go is. When the gal crisp me I give them kiss. It's a boom shot this, it is a hit and not a miss. Man want this, he will catch up in me fist. Snake me a is when the gal them crisp. Fun a sexy gal let me a
Dope. So yeah, that's an example of a mind movie, bro. And you basically, I make them. So if you want it separately, we can talk about the pricing and stuff. But basically, it comes with the package of writing reality as well. But I think it's a super cool technique to just be able to, you play that like every day, you're gonna start to change, man. You know what I mean? Like you keep seeing those images like in your subconscious, you're gonna start changing. Like I remember when I have mine. I actually originally made mine, and that's what inspired me to make it for everybody who joins that community. And yeah, man, that's what it is. Any questions or any wrap ups? Anything that you guys that come up for you guys?
Well, what comes up for me would be, if you know where you want to go, the universe will evidently make room for you. And any obstacles that get in the way are there to either empower you, to heal whatever's within you, whatever pain, or to make you stronger. It's like a resisting opponent. If you're going to apply an armbar, you need a resisting opponent, else you'll never learn. This is the same shit. And yeah, that mind movie shit, that's what helped me a lot to redesign the way I view my own life, towards the point where I become not only ambitious, but also happily ambitious. Life is often how you respond to it. Get it?
Yeah, bro. How you respond to that resistance is more important than the fact that
The
it
resistance
exists.
itself is going to be there anyway. Might as well be happy about it.
I mean, think about this. Like, how can you have like a sales call without resistance, or like a date, ask a girl out without resistance, or doing anything in life? In fact, without
It's
any
funny you should
resistance.
say that. Did you know your work actually starts in whatever profession when there is a constraint? If you're
Yeah.
a sales guy, yeah, and you have a lot of clients that just say yes, fantastic, but you're not doing work. The work begins when they start to say no. When the IT systems start to, crash. When you have a very stubborn client that doesn't understand his own problem. That's when you demonstrate your skill. That's when you demonstrate your prowess. And like a movie, if there wasn't any problems, we wouldn't watch it. It doesn't
Yeah.
make sense. It's like salt.
Yeah.
It's like popcorn without salt. It doesn't make sense.
Mhm. Facts. We need that conflict for sure. And it's how we respond to that conflict that often gets us even further along in our journey. So the obstacle becomes the way, which is a very stoic understanding. And once you come from that acceptance, something that one of my past mentors, VK, he taught me is everything serves the seduction, right? So that mindset of just like everything, you could even reframe that word to say everything serves my lifestyle, or everything serves, my purpose. And once you have that mindset, it's like you're coming from this energy of acceptance, right? Whatever you do, little mishap that happens, that's a part of the movie, man. It's a part of the script. That's cool. It showed up for that reason, you know what I mean? And it's how I respond to it, which shows my character.
Bro, I got a question about that. One thing I struggle with a lot is like the balance of acceptance and improvement. because you just accept everything as it is, but also you gotta know when to make a change. So I always struggle with that. So do you have any pointers or things you use that show you, for example, like with certain people in your life, on this healing journey, some people leave, you know what I mean? So part of me is like, I want them to stay, but another part is, obviously you're attached to the old identity, but I struggle with, like, even with girls and stuff, like, for example, I'm not really focused on girls. I dealt with a breakup like for 2 years in July. So I've been single, and then been talking to this girl, and I mentioned the urine therapy. I don't know if you guys are on that wave right now, but UT's been like changed my life. I could talk about that, but I brought that to her. It's kind of uncalibrated, and she kind of ended things, and I understand the resistance. But my question is, should I worry about that or just keep going on that? Like, should I try to convince people to stay in my life, or should I just accept that I'm breaking away, kind of thing? You know what I mean? If that makes sense.
Are you asking a question to all of us or just to me?
Well, all of you guys. Yeah.
Hold on, bro. I'm gonna repeat your question back to you.
Yeah.
Should I convince someone to stay in my life, or should I just I'm not doing this verbatim, or should I just go on with my life and continue to grow?
Not only convinced, because there's people trying to come in my life, like old friends and people I don't want to attach to, and there's some people that I want in my life that aren't on the same way as me. But my question is, should I try to keep some people in my life, and the people that are trying to come, bring them in, or should I just kind of separate and learn to accept that everyone's temporary, kind of thing?
Only
Yeah.
if you love them.
Yeah.
Only if
yeah.
you love them.
Only if you love him. And besides, what do you want? Young hero, what do you want? If you look at a company, yeah, because I really believe you should live like you're running a company.
Yeah.
Because that's how it usually goes. Everybody has a role. The role of, I need someone to love and to love me. Be it one woman, multiple women, my mom, my dad, my little sister, my little brother, friends all over the world. That's good. But in the end of the day, why do I need them? In the case of love, it is to feed my soul by, having people around me that give a fuck about me. But also so that I can feed their souls by giving them information and the love and the nurturing that I want to give anyway. And if they don't want to be part of it, I'm not going to stop it. I'm going to do it anyway. And I'll evidently attract my tribe, so long as I stick to my principles. And the ones that want to come but are not under my wavelength, hey man, no one has to be on my wavelength, but I do. I have to be on my own shit. Because at the end of the day, as Sumit said before, only I know the answers to my own problem. It's like going to AA. I know why I'm drinking alcohol. We're all drinking alcohol, but I know why. And everybody's just dealing with similar pains. But only you know how to turn your pain into something great. Do you understand? Do you have any questions?
No, bro, I like that. The main thing, I know it's part of my trauma. I don't want to get into that too much, but my brother dying and my best friend dying in March, and a lot of friends in between. So that's kind of where it is about letting people go. But it's more on the question of, should I, like, I'm trying not to make it an ego thing, like, oh, I'm like this guy up here, you guys are down here. So my question is, should I focus on building them up with me, or learn that some people are not meant to be? And the thing you said about the CEO is great. Like, everyone serves a role, but like, end of the day, they're all souls. And I know some of them are there for a reason. Some of them are temporary. So I kind of just want to be true to myself end of the day, but also not neglect people. Like, even with me leaving my house, I have a family here, and I want to, like, I'm going to leave eventually, but there's a resistance to that too. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Again, bro, do you love them? You love them. Yeah, you love them. You do it. You like, well, then don't try to change them. Right. Just have compassion for them that they're not there yet. And through your own beingness, they're going to change. Your own beingness, right? And for sure, you know, how old are you, by the way?
I'm 23.
You're 23, bro. If you haven't moved out from your house, do it like between now and next year. Between now and the next 8 months. Because if you really just separate yourself, gives you time to be not influenced by their energy. So even though you do love them, because you love them, they influence your energy. So you just go and you live with your friend somewhere else and move into a whole new city where you have to readapt and you have to, you know, force yourself to grow very fast. You know, because if you're not the one that puts you in the circumstances to grow, life itself is gonna push you. And I might as well have been me who chose my struggle than some random bullshit that just came across, you know. And so that's really how it is, you know. Give yourself, so I'm gonna just like say it again, give yourself some space. You love them, let them love you from afar. Okay, you can love them from afar too. It doesn't mean that they're gonna give time to see what it's like to not have you around and what that energy means to them, because only through not having something can you be like, this is what it really means to me. If you have it all the time, you sort of get used to it too much and it becomes too much a part of your reality, and you think it's you. You genuinely think it's you at this point. You know, that's why there's like a lot of like issues around attachment and enmeshment and is because you think it's you. Like it's so ingrained a part of your daily reality that it is you. Technically on because it's a mind, you know what I mean? It's an individual family mind that formed, right? You just got to separate yourself from that mind for a minute.
Back.
Yo, Hero, just to put it out there, we're in a very similar situation, and I'm like 7 years your senior. I'm planning on moving out either this
You
year
said you're
or
7 years what?
7 years your senior. I'm 30.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't look it, you know.
You don't? No.
You know, moisturizing and good sheets do miracles. Anyway, remember that deep inside you, you are good. You are a good person. Yeah. But even we make part of a tribe, but when the prince gets older, he gets rebellious, usually in every fucking story, yeah. But we know that the prince is good. But the prince needs to go out there and find, not per se himself, but find the challenge. And what made a challenge that you clearly have is, man, move out and start living your reality. Because one of the things that we all have as Indians, or I'm assuming you're from that heritage, we tend to be a-marked by our own family to a very subtle degree. And both to me and you, me like absolutely, we feel that shit. And I started to realize the effect of it when I went to Las Vegas, when I went to London, when I went to the Caribs. I started to realize, wait a minute, I am not really acting as myself. And I think that's part of the problem. You don't have ultimate authority of your life. And that's the whole point of this seminar. How can you who are you, not have the ultimate authority? To the point where there's a subconscious part that is literally not working for you. That doesn't make sense. Do you understand to me?
Totally, bro. So I have something to say about your question, man, because I actually responded to someone with a similar question that they asked to you. So I'm going to read that out, but also a couple of questions to ask yourself is one, what would the most loving and wisest version of me do? Okay. And two, if I were to give some advice to my own son, if hypothetically, what would I tell him to console him or to make him feel better or to move him on the right path? Knowing that he's, fully capable, intelligent, so forth. Right? So those are the two questions. So I'm going to read out right now what I wrote to that person, okay? So I said, listen kindly because this is edgy, okay? Certain people in your life might be so addicted to their own suffering because that's all they know, and you keep hanging out with them because you see their potential. Unfortunately, the more you hang out with them, you find old versions of yourself that do not belong in the same current story as you. Some people in our lives help us to look at parts of our lives that we aren't willing to look at, keep them close. However, there are also those that others, not how much you try to adjust their views, they just won't heal because they're just not ready yet. They might still love you deeply. That's when you must, as Ryan said, love them from a distance. So yeah, I just wanted to share that.
Yo, Ryan, it's funny when you said that your own family amongs you, because, bro, that is the reason that I wrote this book. I wrote it for like us, like people who went through that experience. Like, look, watch, let me break down the title. Command respect, learn to set boundaries using consciousness psychology and the law of attraction. So I can give you my basis of creation, which was expose what's there, right? Like when a situation is happening, like explain that the situation is happening. That was a big one. And even in like arguments with my family between other members, I would point out what was happening in the conversation. Oh, this is happening. This is happening, right? Because another thing is like you have to get into a mutual goal with them, right? When there's a disagreement, be like, okay, we have to get on mutual goals. Like, okay, like what is it that you really want? Let me tell you what I really want, right? And so it seems like we kind of both want the same thing. Maybe we shouldn't be arguing if we both want the same thing, right? And sometimes you are gonna have to say, okay, well, that's your way of making it happen for you, right? It just that way doesn't work for me. I've tried it. I'd appreciate if you understand it. If they keep bringing something up that's old, you say, I'd really appreciate if you stop bringing up something that happened a long time ago, right? Because sometimes, it's like, you just got to tell them, like, but you have to always say it from this place of great peace. Because people will only become the way that you speak to them. Like if a conversation is getting out of hand and somebody wants to get up and leave, you say, no, I think we should finish the conversation. I'd appreciate if you stayed and we finished the conversation. I don't want it to be something that where, that causes opposition between us. I don't want it to be something. I want to finish it, conclude it. We get into when we both understand something from each other, like because realistically speaking, if you're having an argument with somebody and it doesn't conclude, that's gonna fuck with us, right? Firstly, because we always remember the person based on the last way that we remember them. That's how you think about the people in your life, based on the last encounter that you had with them. And if somebody said something weird about your jacket and that's the last thing they said for 6 months, and you met them again at a grocery store, first thing you would think is, oh, they said about my jacket, right? And so then the other reason for closing, making sure there's a closing, it can't be, you have to close the circles, is because when we get left on a hook at the end of a movie, we're unsatisfied and we want to come see the next movie just so we can, or the same reason when people click next episode on Netflix, because they hook you at the end, or you're like, and you're incomplete. And so if you don't complete the circle, it's going to leave an incompleteness in you. So being totally honest. That's it. Just be totally honest. What do you think about that, young hero?
Was that helpful, brother?
It's very helpful, guys. All you guys drop so many gems, man. It's too much taken. One thing I do want to ask, because Alejandro, you mentioned like setting boundaries. So what are some ways you can say no, like some nice ways to say no, like someone asking to hang out or wants to be a part of your life? Like, how do you politely say no in a way that's not putting them down?
You can just say you don't have time, because that would be the truth, that you don't have the time for that.
Just flat out, I'm busy.
You can just let them know you're busy. That could, it's always about being honest, right?
Yeah.
And the honest truth is that you don't have time for that, right? Well, like, we don't have to hurt people, If we tell them something else that's gonna hurt them, like, we have to speak to them at their level of consciousness. Right. And so that level of consciousness does not want the whole truth. Obviously, somebody does not want to hear, hey, bro, I don't want to fucking chill with you because you're low vibration or whatever, or you're lower than me. It would be the same thing as, like, Beyonce, being like, oh yeah, I don't know, fuck these people or whatever. I'm not, it's just the same thing at the same time, where it's like, you are kind of like, in a way, like, let's just say Beyonce or Jay-Z, like, just at a higher level than them in comparison, and you just wouldn't hang out. Like, Beyonce wouldn't hang out with you, Jay-Z wouldn't hang out with you. So it's just, and that's not a big deal, right? And so it's just being like, oh, I don't really have time. You feel me? Is there another scenario you would like to bring up, a specific scenario, that way we can really answer it?
No, just what you said is kind of goes with all of them. Friends wanting to hang out, people wanting your time for certain things. Like, it's true, I am busy. It's just the guilt of wanting to, help people. Maybe that's what it is. But yeah, I think maybe I just got to respect my time more and set the boundaries. Be more firm on the boundaries. But yeah, again, this puts so many things in perspective for me. Like, yeah, a lot.
Yeah, man. And like, also, like, start with care and then let them know what you think, right? So you can still be like, hey, I appreciate you thinking of me, right? But this is not for me right now, or something like this. So you start off with just being like, yeah, hey, it's cool that you're like, you appreciate the time to reach out to me and like say this, but also it's not in what I want to do right now, or whatever the excuse or the justification is that you want to use at that time, right? So yeah, I call them carefrontations. I have a term for it.
I wrote that down.
Maybe let's add this quick coaching on before you even deal with the troubles in your life, the unexpected issues that you have with parents, managers, because always managers, traffic, whatever. What if you could handle that shit before, you know? All three of us, Alejandro, Sumit, and myself, are part of the IMC Nation, where we believe in being the best and fucking the rest, meaning anything that has to do with me, I need to be the best in. Meaning, in my own life, I need the best in handling my mind, my body, my life, my soul, my connections, my relationships. Getting on a call with Alejandro and Sumit, maybe even me, let them help you out. Pay the price. Because if you want to save time, whatever fucking bullshit you should be expecting in the future, now is the time to do it. Get what I'm saying?
Yeah, bro. I'm gonna shoot Samet a DM later for sure.
Good. Good. All right, boys. It's almost 20 minutes overtime. Let's go with the takeaways and end this seminar. Alejandro, do you have any takeaways?
The takeaway is choose.
Takeaway. Schmidt?
I think that just what I said about, act it till you fact it, and as well as just don't act as is, don't act as if, act as is, because manifestation is a paradox, right? So it's like it's two polar opposites in one. So it's like that burning desire, but also that unattachment to the outcome, right? And so when you can actually get that, you can understand that when you stop clinging to the end result so much, like oftentimes you're saying to the universe, hey, I've already got it, it's already mine. That frequency like really starts to create a ripple effect in other areas where you're like, bro, I've already got this goal, like I don't need to be stressed out about it. And that, this generates a broadcasting system into the universe that just gives you what you want. But yeah, bro, that's what I want to end with. I know we've gone way over time.
Way over time. We like helping people too much. That's no problem.
Facts, we do.
My takeaway would be indeed choose, but more than choose, embrace. Embrace the conflict because it can only make you stronger. Embrace the peace because that's what you need, and embrace wherever you're going. You know what you want. Go there. You got it. And pretend as if the universe gives a fuck about you, man. Because it does. Because if God is the universe, then you are part of God, and we all have a little bit of God in us. You know what I mean? And on that note, this has been a very fun seminar. Thank you for joining, Donkio. This is really fun. And of course, extra disclaimer for the viewers, should you decide to use any of these techniques, let us know how it went for you. Get in contact with Alejandro Costa, Sumit Chatterjee from the Flowstone Academy, and of course, me myself, Ryan G from Aligned Data Strategy. If you have a business that needs optimizing because shit is broken, you know where to find me. It's the Be the Best, Fuck the Rest production, IMC Nation. May your life never be the same. Every day and every way, my life is getting better. I wish you a fantastic life. Good morning, good night, good evening. Till next time.